simply showing up isn't enough. At first, maybe you're fat, you're overweight, so just showing yourself at the gym or starting to pay attention to what you're eating. This is impressive in itself. But a month in, 2, 3, if nothing has changed, there's a problem. You can't just do the bare minimum and expect maximum results. Just showing up isn't going to cut it anymore. You have to improve. You have to grow. So obviously I'm talking about fitness, right? But not just that. I'm not just talking about showing up to the gym and eating better. I'm also talking about the way you talk about yourself, to yourself, your habits, your mindset, any other goals that you may have in your studies or career, and even your relationship. Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. Progress comes from effort. Progress comes from discomfort. It's not just about being present and winging it. It's about being intentional with everything you do and optimizing with that 1% better mentality. I'm sure that you feel like you're doing everything right. Maybe you're working out 3 times per week, 4 times per week. Maybe you are eating a bit healthier, focusing on your protein, getting your sleep in check, getting your stress in check, reading the self-help books, and yet you still feel stuck. Why? Because you're doing the work without doing the real work, without presence, without pressure, without purpose. And I've been there, I've been plateauing, physically, emotionally, spiritually, feeling numb, mentally foggy, even if I was being consistent. I'm gonna have a lot of quotes and quotes in this video, I feel. And so have my clients until we flipped the script. So again, if you feel stuck, watch this video. The first key is there is a difference between being busy and being intentional, because you can be busy and not do anything that actually moves the needle. Even the prettiest notebook or Notion dashboards with all the to-do lists in the world, it's not going to change you. You can journal, meditate, go to the gym, meal prep, and still be the same woman in 6 months' time. And that's because you're just performing rituals with no depth. And the crazy thing is that that lack of purpose or of intention might actually be the thing preventing you from being consistent and getting better. For example, one of my clients, she was very much struggling with all of that, with sticking to the plan at first, and we talked about what was going on in her life, and she was telling me that she wasn't really satisfied with her job and she felt like she wanted to go back to science, but she was stuck there, and there was so many steps to changing her career. So I was like, I'm not a career expert, but let's breaking down what is the next best step. So we talked about it, and then a week later she came back. She had done the first step, which was to see a career advisor and figure out how she could get back to school. And she had done all of her workouts, but most importantly, the biggest struggle for her was to stick to her plan calorie-wise and actually track all of her macros. She had logged into MyFitnessPal every single thing that she ate. And then 2 weeks later, I think she had lost 2 kilos or something like that. This all comes from finding purpose and really moving through life with intention. The moment you have that feeling of growth, that's the moment everything around you becomes easy and everything makes sense. So her body at the time wasn't the issue, her standards were. You can be busy and still make no progress. You can be consistent and still feel stuck. You can go to the gym 4 times per week, eat salads, and still hate the woman you see in the mirror. I can so relate. Because it's never about doing more, it's about doing better, working smarter, and doing everything with intention. It's about doing things that actually change you. A lot of people confuse motion with progress, but if you're just ticking boxes with no purpose, no alignment, no depth, you're not getting anywhere. You're not evolving. You're just performing. You're chasing some gold stars for just showing up. You're not chasing a real transformation. You're not giving in your all to what you're doing, and it will show. If you're not giving it your all, especially on your workouts, I'm saying that because I'm a personal trainer, it will show in your body, in the transformation that you get or not. Discipline without direction is just another distraction. And the thing is, once you get clear on that identity shift and who you want to become, you gain that momentum and you just get that transformation almost, first of all, seamless, but then almost overnight. Now, I'm going to say something a little controversial. I don't really like self-love, at least not how it's portrayed on social media, because it isn't about bubble bath and affirmations and skincare. Everyone portrays it as self-soothing. It's just being like, there, it's okay. You don't have to. And I'm gonna say something again that people are not gonna like. sometimes I have brothers, so that may be the reason, but sometimes the only reason why I wish people would talk to me like a man. And that's because when I say I'm tired, I don't feel like it, oh, I've been eating like shit and all of that, or oh, I just messed up, people are gonna be like, oh, it's okay, you should rest, you can skip that workout again, it's fine, you're gonna honor your cravings. And sure, but at some point I need someone to tell me what men would say to each other. And I say that because my brother literally talked to me sometimes. They're gonna be like, do you want the woman version or the man version? I always choose the man version because I need to hear that shit. I need to hear, fuck that, I know you're tired, do you really want to stay fat? No, get your ass outside, go for a run, stop eating like shit, do better. It took me a while, but I learned that balance between talking to me like a woman and talking to me like a man, because sometimes I do need to rest, and it was all about that balance. But most times, especially right now when I have goals, I need to be pushed, not being soothed. And that ties back to that self-love thing. Self-love isn't a feeling, it's an approach, it's a commitment, it's saying, it's tough, but we're going to do this because future Florian will love you for doing that, and you love future Florian enough for doing that now, even if it's hard. Real self-love is about asking more from yourself because you know you have more potential. It's about having a structure, having a plan, and following even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. It's about saying, I know you're tired, I respect that, but you said you would show up. So you show up. And sometimes that means shifting my workouts around because I'm too tired or I had a bad night. So instead of, going for a long run, why not doing, a shorter run because that day I need that? I'm still understanding. But to an extent, I'm not gonna say, well, you can skip your workout, it's fine, you're tired. No, fuck that, show up. And I mean, anyways, you feel like you don't have enough energy to work out, but working out actually gives you back energy, so it defeats your excuse anyways. You do not build confidence, and you don't build success, and you don't build body like this by being gentle and honoring your excuses under the spectrum of self-love. No. So I've had to call myself out, right? After a binge, saying, fuck that, why are you doing that? And I've had to say, okay, you don't want to get out of bed right now, but you have goals. Do you really not want to go back to the US and invest in yourself and get to do this? No, so fuck that. I know you're tired, but this is a you problem. You scrolled on TikTok way too long last night. This is the consequence. You pay the price for what you've done. Maybe today's going to be a tough day, but move on. Get up, do the things. And I do, and I'm proud of myself, and it gets easier to be more disciplined after. So you really have to choose, like I had to choose for myself. Do I want to stay stuck feeling sorry for myself, or do I want to give myself that kick in the ass and move? And the last key for today is you will always act based on the person you truly believe you are. So if you believe that you're the person who slips up, or who can't stick to a diet, or who cannot push themselves too much for a workout, or even worse, who can't lose weight and get the transformation that they want, this is exactly who you are going to be. Because if you feel like you're not the person who shows up, do you really think that you are going to show up? Of course not. If you see yourself as the girl who always gives up, you are going to give up the moment it gets difficult, saying, you see, I was right. I said I always give up, and I do. You will literally sabotage every single time and find excuse every single time if this is what you believe in. So you have to ask yourself, is this what I believe in? Do you believe that you can do it, or do you believe that you're going to fail? And that will literally tell you if you are going to fail or not. So stop trying to change everything outside of you. Start with changing your mind, because everything comes from there. Everything comes from what you believe. Everything from, this phone to whatever I'm wearing to the computer phone you're using to watch this video. Everything comes first from someone's mind who designed it. So it's the same for literally everything in your life. Coming from you, coming from your thoughts, and then it transpires into the material. My client didn't see results because she was ticking off all of her workouts and because she tracked her food. She was successful because she decided that she was going to train with purpose and try to get stronger. She decided that she wanted the identity of a strong woman. Eventually, she started lifting heavier, running faster, running further, and she fed herself and fueled her body with the respect that she wanted to have for herself and she decided to have for herself to fuel these workouts. And that identity shift, seeing herself as the strong woman she was becoming, is what made everything else easier and actually did that transformation, honestly. Identity over habits every single time, because you will always revert back. So if you try specific habits without tying it to an identity first, you will always revert back to the identity you truly believe you are. So if you believe that you are not a morning person, but you try waking up early, trying to push yourself without shifting your identity, you'll always fail and you'll always revert back to that identity of, no, I struggle to wake up in the morning. Same for everything else. It all starts with it. So yeah, just showing up isn't enough. At first, sure, take the W, it's a win, it's great to build consistency. But over time, if you keep on doing the bare minimum, because this is where you should be starting out, by the way, and then build up on that. But if you stop there, instead of building up, you're never going to get anything, because the bare minimum is here to get you started and consistent and falling in love with the process. It's not about chasing perfection, but it's about chasing progress and trying to aim for that 1% better action in every areas of your life, because this is what will get truly the transformation that you want. You'll start eating better, lifting heavier, sleeping better as well, because you'll think about what to eat before a workout and the best stretches before a run and the temperature in your room before sleeping that helps you, or the routine before sleeping, or your wake up time. I'm sure we've seen that video on Instagram about, oh, the reason why you're never satisfied with yourself is because you keep on raising the standards. But you have to keep on raising the standards. Coasting and stalling and settling is just so bad. Like, human beings are literally wired to aim higher and to keep on growing. Because if you want results like this, that's great, but that means that you need to be a different version of you. So you need to have different thoughts and different actions, and you will get different results. You need to be someone who trains and eats and lives with purpose. The one who chooses respect over comfort. The one who stops performing and doing the bare minimum and actually starts becoming and embodying for real this time the traits that she wants. And the scariest part is that no one is going to hold you to those standards except you. It's all on you right now. So if you are done with just randomly showing up and doing the bare minimum, and you actually want to completely transform your mind, your body, your life, book a free call with me down below, and we'll talk about how to build the version of you who you are actually proud of and who you've been half chasing this entire time. That was very random, very little script. I hope you liked this video. I got a little bit passionate. Hopefully it made sense. We'll see that in editing. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.